Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing my exact trade plan for the Euro USD, the Pounds USD, US30, BTC, and gold. I will point out the trend of the market and area of interest where to take advantage of the move this week. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Zil, Forex trader with over 18 years trading experience. Please do well to subscribe to this channel for more trading tips and Forex analysis. So let's dive straight to the analysis of the week. This week, so we'll start analysis with the Pounds USD. The Pounds USD on my daily chart still have series of lower high. You can see we still have price still creating this higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So this series of lower high still indicates we still expect more of the bearish trend for the Pounds USD. So long we have this bearish scenario, our aim is to look at for our area of interest where we are to take our sales opportunity from, because we are still remain on a bearish trend on the Pounds USD. So long we have this bearish trend, let's plot out the area of interest where we are to take our expect to sell the market from. So on the Pounds USD on the daily time frame, we can clearly see we still have this level as our area of interest on the daily time frame. So long we still have a bearish trend, this remain our area of interest, this level, this level. So these areas are our area of interest where we're looking to for a possible price reversal from this level to the downside. So we expect price to retest that particular resistance level before we see any further selling opportunity or price to this support level on the Pounds USD. So long we have this bearish trend, we have to be patient and wait for price to give us that movement, that confirmation for us to keep selling the Pounds USD to the downside. So we don't need to hurry, we just need to wait for price to retrace back to that our level of interest, then we can make our decision for us to keep selling the Pounds USD to the downside. Because if we are in haste to make that decision to sell from a neutral level, it might lead to losses. So it's not encouraging to sell from such level. Wait for price to get to that area of interest before making any decision for this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Euro USD. So Euro USD on my daily time frame also have this downtrend. You can see we still have this higher high, the lower high, then a lower high, and a lower high. So this signifies a bearish trend for the Euro USD. So long we have this bearish trend for the Euro USD, the next thing we have to do, we have to pick our area of interest where we expect price to retrace to before we make any possible selling opportunity for the Euro USD. For the selling opportunity, we can go to our lower time frame for us to get a proper entry if price have rejected from that particular resistance level. Then we also need to confirm this trend. We can't just rush in because price tested that particular level. We have to confirm from the higher time frame. If the higher time frame supports the Euro USD, the Euro USD from dropping to the downside. If the price supported before make a decision to sell the Euro USD to the downside. If you want to learn how to confirm your trend, if the higher time frame supports your trend, you can book my one-on-one. The link also in description below, where I will teach you how to analyze the chart, the right steps to take your entries, the right step to confirm your trend before taking your trade. You can book for that section, the link is in description below. Then you can also get my video courses, the link also in description below. So let's continue with the analysis. So this week now, we expect price to retrace to this our area of interest on the Euro USD. Then we'll start looking for the possible selling opportunity for more sell for the Euro to the downside. We expect price to break this area. Once we see a break of this level, this will trigger a major sell for the Euro USD to the downside. So because the Euro USD major structure still remain on a sideways trend, but a break of this level will trigger the major sell for the Euro USD. So let's look at our next pair. Then if you have any question, you can leave it as a comment in the section below. So let's look at our next pair, which is the dollar index. On the dollar index, we can clearly see that we still have this bullish structure on the dollar index. You can see we have this double bottom here. Then we have this higher low and higher low. So this series of higher low indicates bullish momentum for the dollar index. So long we have this bullish momentum for the dollar index, our job this week is to look out for more of the buying opportunity for the dollar index. Then, so long we have this bullish momentum, we need to look out for our area of interest for us to keep buying the dollar this week. You can see that price are so close above this resistance level. We have price close above this resistance level. So which shows that the dollar index have break out of the sideways trend for this week. So long the price does break out of this sideways trend for the dollar index, our aim now is to look out for more of the buying opportunity for the dollar index. So our area of interest for the dollar index will be this support area. So we expect price to drop to this support level before start looking for the possible buying opportunity for the dollar index to the top. So once we see price drop to that particular support level and rejected from that level, then we'll start looking for the possible buying opportunity from that level to the next resistance level, which is this resistance level on the daily time frame. You can see the trend of the market is very clear. The trend of the market is your friend. You have to flow with the trend of the market. You don't trade against the trend of the market. When you flow with the trend of the market, you make more profit. So you have to be consistent and stick to the trend of the market and follow the trend of the market for you to become more profitable as a trader. But then you also need to confirm the trend. You can also confirm the trend from the higher time frame. So let's continue with the analysis. Let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia USD. Australia USD on my daily time frame, we can see we have a series of higher low on the Australia USD, which is we have this higher high. We have price creating this higher high, then a lower high and a lower high. So this series of lower highs indicate the bearish trend for the Australia USD. So long we have this bearish trend on Australia USD, our job is to look out for more of the selling opportunity on the Australia USD. We don't want to trade against the trend of the market. We want to stick to the trend and look out for our area of interest for us to keep selling the Australia USD, which is we need to join the trend for the possible selling opportunity on the Australia USD. So what we expect from the Australia USD now, we need to look at for area of interest for us to sell the Australia USD, which is we expect price to retrace back to this area of resistance. Then we'll start looking for the possible sell of price to this next support area for the Australia USD. So this is what we're expecting this week from the Australia USD. After the retest, we can start looking for the possible selling opportunity from the Australia USD. The current level on the Australia USD, we can't sell from that particular level now because that level is a support level. We need price to retest back to resistance level before we make that decision for sell on the Australia USD. So this is what we're expecting from the Australia USD this week. So let's look at our next pair. Let's look at our next pair. This is the USD JPY. The USD JPY on my daily time frame, you can see we see have price creating series of higher low. The long price creating this series of higher low, which is lower low and higher low, this higher low, this higher low. This indicates the bullish momentum for the USD JPY. So long we have this bullish momentum for USD JPY, our aim this week is to look out for more of the buying opportunity from the USD JPY. But we can't just join the buy because we have price telling us to buy. We need price to come to particular our area of interest where we can start looking for the buying opportunity for the USD JPY. So we have this level as our area of interest, which is a resistance level, which is the previous resistance level. We expect price to retest that particular level before we start looking for any possible buying opportunity for the USD JPY, which is we expect price to retest this level. Then we start looking for the buying opportunity for the USD JPY to the top. So with this current scenario of market, we don't need to rush. We just need to be patient and wait for price to retest that particular level. Then we start with, then after the retest of that level, we need to also confirm if the higher time frame support this movement before we take this trade. Then we also need to move to a lower time frame for us to take this trade, for us to buy the USD JPY if we see a retest of this particular level for the USD JPY. Trading requires patience and your risk management. Sometimes your analysis can be correct, but market can also go against your direction. That's why you need your proper risk management to plan your risk before taking any trade. So this particular video is for educational purpose. I'm not a financial advisor. So let's continue with the analysis. Let's look at our next pair, which is the gold USD. The gold USD on my daily time frame see projecting more of the bearish trend for this week. So how do we know that the gold USD is projecting more of the bearish trend this week for this week? We can see we still have this higher high and a lower high, then a lower high, then a lower high, and a lower high. So this series of lower high indicate more of the bearish trend this week for the gold USD. So long we have this bearish trend this week for the gold USD, so we have to look at for more of the selling opportunity for the gold USD. We have to look at for our area of interest where we can keep selling the gold USD to the downside, because the current trend of the gold still telling us to what to do more of the sell than the buy. So long we have price telling us to do more of the sell than the buy, we have to keep selling the gold USD to the downside. So what we expect this week, so long we have this bearish trend, we have to look at our area of interest for us to keep selling the gold USD this week. So our current level of price, we can see that we still have a support at this area. This area is also a support level. So we need price to come back to a resistance level for us to sell the gold USD to the downside. So we expect price to move back to this resistance area. Then we'll start looking for possible sell for gold to the downside. So we can't sell from this current level. So this current level are all support level. I don't like selling from a support level. I always like to sell from a resistance level. So take advantage of selling on a resistance level, which will give you a good profit for the gold trade. So let's keep in mind for us to always sell from a resistance level, to avoid selling from support level. So the gold USD is still projecting more of the bearish trend this week for the gold USD. So our next level of target for gold this week, we expect price to drop to this next support area this week, and a break of this support might trigger more sell for gold to this next support area this week. So we are expecting price to keep dropping for the gold this coming week. So this level will be our target for the gold sell this week. If we can see a possible selling opportunity from this resistance area for us to sell the gold to the downside, because our current level for gold is on a support. We need a retest before we start looking for the selling opportunity for the gold USD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the US30. So the US30 on my daily time frame, we can see we still have bullish momentum for the US30. We can see we have this lower low, then we can see we have this higher low. This series of higher low indicates strong bullish momentum for the US30. So now we have this strong bullish momentum for the US30. We have to pick our area of interest for us to sell, for us to buy the US30, which is our area of interest where we can buy the US30, because we have a bullish momentum for the US30. So our area of interest to buy the US30 will be this level. So we expect a price to retest back to this support area. Then we start looking for possible buying opportunity for the US30 to the top. So we need to take advantage from buying from these support areas. So if you are buying from this level because we have a bullish structure for buying, it's wrong. Buy from this support area. This should give you a good edge for you to buy the US30 to the top. So look out for more of the buying opportunity for the USD this week. So let's look at our next pair. So our next pair will be BTC USD. So the BTC USD on my daily time frame, you can see we still have this bearish trend on the BTC USD. You can see we still have this. We have price creating this higher high and lower high, then a lower high, then a lower high, and a lower high. So this bearish trend in this series of lower high indicates more of the bearish trend for the BTC USD. So long we have this bearish trend for the BTC USD, we expect to keep most of the selling for the BTC USD. So we also need to take our area of interest where we are supposed to sell the BTC USD from. We can't just join the sell on BTC USD. We need price to give us a confirmation from our area of interest for us to keep selling the BTC USD. Then we also need a confirmation from the higher time frame for us to sell the BTC USD. Then we also need our lower time frame for us to take good structure for us to also sell the BTC USD. So if you are a trader, you find it difficult to know how to analyze your strategy, to know how to analyze your charts and read your chart properly to pick your entries, you can book on my one-on-one mentorship, or you can get access to my video courses. The link also in the description below. So from the BTC USD, so long we have this downtrend structure, we have to sell the BTC USD from this area of interest. We need price to reject from this level. If price fail to break above this level, we start looking for possible sell for BTC to the downside. But if price break above this level, this might trigger more buy to this resistance area. So we expect price to reject from this level for us to sell the BTC with our first target to be this level. So this is what we're expecting for the BTC this week. So do well to stick to this plan and expect your result. So we expect more of the sell from the BTC this week. We expect BTC to keep selling this week. So we expect price to sell to this next support level, and a break of this, if price can break this support level, this might trigger more sell for BTC to the downside. So look out for more of the selling opportunity from the BTC this week. So let's look at our next pair. Which is the New Zealand USD. New Zealand USD on my daily time frame. See, you can see we have price creating this higher high and a lower high. So we expect a retest of price to this zone, and we'll start looking for possible sell for the New Zealand USD with our first target. So this area will be our first target for the New Zealand USD. This level will be my first target for the New Zealand USD. And if we can see a break of this level, this might trigger more sell for the New Zealand USD. So expect more of the selling of sell from the New Zealand USD this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the CAD USD. The CAD USD on my daily time frame, you can see we see our price projecting more of the buying opportunity for the CAD USD. So now we have this price projecting more of the buy. Why do you say CAD is projecting for more of buys? You can see we have this lower low, then we can see we have this series of higher low. This series of higher low and higher low indicate the bullish trend for the CAD USD. So long we have this bullish trend for the CAD USD, we also need to know our area of interest where we can start looking for more buys for the CAD USD. So we expect price to do a retest of this area, then we'll start looking for the possible buy for CAD USD to the top. So we expect more buys for CAD USD to this next resistance level on the daily time frame, which is price has break above this level. So we expect price to move to this next resistance level for CAD USD. So this level will be our target if we are buying from the deep for the CAD USD. So this level will be our next target for the, which is for buying up for buy target for the CAD USD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USD CHF. USD CHF on my daily time frame, we can see we have price still pushing more higher for the USD CHF. You can see we have this lower low and a series of higher low. This series of higher low indicate more of the bullish trend for the USD CHF. You can also see that price has closed above my trend line, which connected 3 swing levels. You can also see that price has closed above this trend line. So long price closed above this trend line also indicate more of the buying for the USD CHF. So what do we expect this week for our area of interest for us to buy the USD CHF this week? We need price to retest these areas, then start looking for possible buy for the USD CHF to the top. So expect price to retest this level for making any decision for USD CHF. So this level will be our area of interest for buying opportunity for the USD CHF this week. So you have to be patient and wait for price to test that particular previous resistance level or make any possible decision for us to keep buying the USD CHF this week. So this is what we are expecting from the market this week. If you find this analysis helpful, do well to like this video and subscribe for more trading tips and forex analysis.